Hey, good morning, everybody. Matt Barton here with this week's Broker Minute or Two. I hope your week's going well. Listen, I wanted to just take a little bit of a different angle today. This first part of October, it starts Q4, means there's going to be actually new data and fun things like that. Yes, I am a nerd. But what I wanted to talk about today was actually a conversation that Ron Snow and I were having just the other day. And we get to talk about a lot of things. But one of the topics we talked about is like, wow, it's great that we're experiencing some growth in the company. But part of the um, consternation was how come more people don't like understand the value that we have in our company? And I get it because there's actually a lot of layers and a lot of value add that we bring to the table. But when you compare it as a backdrop, like, the news of the past week or so is, oh my gosh, Compass bought anywhere.com. And if you're not familiar, anywhere.com is kind of like the parent company that is Coldwell Banker, Century 21, ERA, Better Homes and Gardens, Weichert. There's a whole host that go under that, and somehow that gets a lot of traction, but they don't really talk much about the value or the additional value that we're bringing. And that was kind of the frustration Ron and I were having. Is like, not only are we affiliated with a great brand that does great things, but we have massive layers on top of what LLC does in our GCP model. So let me just start by sharing this with you. Okay, this is a graphic that gets put out periodically by Remax, and I love it because it is backed up with data. If you scroll to the bottom, it gives you all the information. But as far as big brands, and I'm not gonna even spend the time dealing with, there's this ones or twos company with four people that are working with a builder around a golf course that are doing more. I'm talking an apples to apples comparison. Large national companies with established brands, and how do we stack up? And it's maybe breathtaking is too strong of a term, but it is significant when you look at that. So, I was just talking about Compass and their pathway to growth by just acquire. It's not that they're necessarily building a better offering for their agents and their client base. It's just we're just getting big, and that creates like excitement or momentum on Wall Street because they're a publicly traded company. So, but when you get back to it and you think of the brass tacks of what really moves the needle for you, for your family, for your client base, I hope we can see this. And there is an ask at the end of this. And I'm going to get to the ask right now. Q4 is a time when agents specifically, are reevaluating their business, right? We all start the year with this like ambition and hopefulness for how the year's going to materialize. And yeah, sometimes we get caught up in excuse making. Well, the market didn't do this and the market didn't do that. The successful agents are successful throughout good and bad times. And part of that is they have good systems and they have good company and infrastructure to help them do just that. And so as we're coming into Q4, and you can talk to some of our recruits over the past year up in the northern portion of where our company operates, they experienced this, came on board with us last Q4, and several of them, many of them. And so my ask to you, each one of you individually as an agent, is to look around the people that we all have friends in the industry, and they're not all with us. And I want you to be intelligent about this. Just have an intelligent conversation. Many of you have met Shane Mitchell. He is hired to do specifically growth for us and have conversations. I want to make sure you understand that Shane is very skilled. He's not a bull in the china shop. He's very much a relationship builder, and that's his approach to approaching people outside the company. And it's really just from a standpoint of, hey, we actually think we have some things that could help you. Of course, the timing's got to be right. Of course, you need to be interested. If you're not, we'll continue to be friends. We'll continue to try and support your business. But, and this is why this message is so key in Q4, but if you have any concern, if you've got a hole in your game with your company, if they're not doing the things that you need to further your business, maybe just have a conversation with us. Look at what we're doing, not only through Remax Corporate and all the resources that come to bear and a far-reaching referral network and all the things that they bring to bear, but look at what we're doing locally. Look what we're doing with Gold Capital Partners, giving you the opportunity to have ownership not only in your own business, but in the brokerage, in lending, in title, in marketing, in an insurance brokerage. And you get to participate financially in all of those things where your hard work each day is the generative event that feeds those other silos. Doesn't it make sense that you should participate financially in those other silos of business? Anyway, it's a great message. We just need to be a little more vocal about it. And I don't mean in an annoying way, but almost like an invitation way, almost like a, hey, you may not know this, but, right? And just plant the seed. If you're not comfortable planting the seed, just give Shane somebody's name. I promise you, he's very careful in his approach to people. He doesn't come like, hey, you need to be with us today. He's not a car salesman. So with that, I hope we can take the opportunity. I mean, you think about this, when we get into November, December, we get this more of a gratitude mindset. I hope that gratitude mindset can turn to not only the things that help you, but how you can perhaps help somebody else. And in this case, yes, it's a specific ask. Maybe we can help others better, not only their real estate business, but the environment they work in, and therefore benefit the lives of themselves, their families, and the clients that they serve. I hope that doesn't sound too corny, but it's actually what is one of the pillars or one of the key things that drives us in the way we run our business and what we do. And so with that, feel free to reach out to me or to Shane or to your local broker. But I would say probably the most effective is to reach out to Shane Mitchell. And if there's an opportunity to do so and have a conversation with one of your friends or peers. With that, I hope you have a great week. And next Broker Minute or two, there will be a fresh set of data and market analysis and where we are at the end of Q3.